The information contained on the Crypto Sports Collector website and social media is for general information and educational purposes only. It is not intended as a substitute for legal, commercial, and/or financial advice from a licensed professional. The business of online investing is a complicated matter that requires serious financial due diligence for each investment to be successful. You are strongly advised to seek the services of qualified, competent professionals prior to engaging in any investment that may impact your finances. Here's a breakdown of the sports NFT market cycle between the end of 2020 and closing in on the end of 2022. As of this recording, around October-November timeframe of 2022. There are concepts and terms that I'm going to mention that are borrowed from other cycles that are observed with the adoption of new technology, for example, as well as the stock market. Starting with stage one, this is the early adopter stage. This is when the influencers and tech enthusiasts were getting access to early pack drops and were transacting with each other. So in the context of NBA Top Shot, these were Series 1 drops for Top Shot that are occurring during this time and really kind of starting, really at the start of the hype of NFTs. Then we move on to stage two, which is what we call the early majority. So this is the time when Dapperlabs was wrapping up their marketing efforts and media outlets were starting to report on NBA Top Shot, but it wasn't fully mainstream or really at the national level yet. And during this time, more people were gaining access to pack drops and transactions in the marketplace started ramping up. And so really stage one, stage two, you can start to see the chart kind of starting to climb up and to the right. Then you get to stage three, which is considered the late majority. At this time, even more people are gaining access as Dapper opened up signups. And at this time, mainstream media coverage really started picking up in full force, not just with sports NFTs, but just NFTs in general, and really crypto markets as well. So outlets just like ESPN, Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, Bloomberg, they're starting to publish headlines about NBA Top Shot and NFTs. You know, concurrent at this time is that cryptocurrencies were doing really, really well. The market was very hot, and so that was also having an impact on the NFT market. In a lot of ways, crypto markets and NFTs are very much tied together. And even terms like blockchain and Web3 were becoming more mainstream. Awareness behind them and the technology behind them was increasing. And if you kind of zoom out to the really, really big picture, macroeconomics were great at this time. Interest rates were still low at this time, which makes borrowing money much more cheap. Plus, at this time, we were kind of in lockdown and in the middle of the pandemic. And so what you have is this impact of people having discretionary income to spend because they weren't going out. And so, I mean, you liken this to Netflix subscriptions or Peloton subscriptions at this time. Those were, I think they were starting to get towards like very high or top, kind of top of the market numbers because people were staying home more. And so they were reallocating dollars towards things they might not necessarily have spent on if we weren't in a lockdown. And so that discretionary income was funneling into NFTs, the crypto markets, as the headlines, as people were seeing the headlines. Then you get to stage four, what we call the laggards. So this is when people are getting into the market, and these are the people that felt a little bit of FOMO and felt like they were missing out on the crypto and NFT mania. They're basically trying to get in and make a buck because everyone around them is doing the same, right? At the same time, what you'll see is that early adopters and kind of that early late majority are probably starting to take profits. And so they're cashing in on kind of these people that are really late to the party kind of coming in, and they're probably selling to people kind of getting into the market a little bit later. I'd also say that there's those that were simply just kind of trading at this entire time, in just trading the hype. They're starting to get out of the market too. So They might not necessarily had conviction behind Web3 or the blockchain or the crypto markets or NFTs, but they were just in it to try to flip their digital assets and get out as soon as possible. Then you get to stage 5, which is a declining market, and this is where we're currently at right now. Again, we're recording this around the October-November timeframe of 2022, and there are a lot of kind of big picture things that are happening that are driving down the market. The macroeconomic situation is worsening with inflation and recession fears. I mean, interest rates are increasing, which makes borrowing money more expensive. Also, you have the novelty of the crypto and NFT markets cooling down, especially since people are tightening their budgets. That goes back to, and in contrast to when people were in the pandemic and interest rates were low and they weren't going out and they had discretionary money to spend in other places. You fast forward to now where interest rates are increasing, money's becoming more expensive to borrow. People are tightening their budgets. They are pulling back from money they might have poured into the crypto market or the NFT market. I think the other piece that we cannot downplay is that the government and lawmakers are starting to ramp up discussions around regulating the crypto market, which inevitably will also have an impact on the NFT market. And those that just don't have conviction behind Web3, blockchain, crypto, NFTs in the long term, those people are likely also getting out now too, right? And so that's just kind of the nature of a market that has quickly risen and then kind of quickly declined. Is you start to suss out the people that are kind of just trading the headlines, trading the hype in the short term, and then you start to kind of get left over with the kind of diehards or the people that have conviction in holding these assets for for the long term. And then kind of beyond stage 5, this is going to be the interesting thing to see and just let unfold over the next coming months and years, right? No one knows where the crypto markets or the NFT market is going to end up, and we just have to let things unfold. There's likely going to be more declines and more bad news because the macroeconomic situation is still on the decline, or there's just more bad news than there is good news. Crypto Sports Collector has always been a long-term investor. Our team has always looked for long-term investments in the crypto and the NFT space, and we actually fundamentally believe that the decline here presents good buying opportunities for certain NFT projects and cryptocurrencies. Just real quick, for those new to the channel, Crypto Sports Collector continues to be big on Top Shot, NFLALLDAY. We dabble into a little bit of the UFC stuff, and then cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Solana. These projects, these cryptocurrencies, these are the ones that we believe have staying power, and we cover those in our other videos. But these are the ones that we believe are going to be around for years to come, and we are looking for opportunities to buy them as the market continues to decline. We're not trying to time the market. We're buying as the market kind of steps down. So we're not beholden to trying to time when the market bottom is, but we're starting to get in at what we deem good value prices. In summary, I'm not surprised that the market dynamics, traditional markets and markets for other valuable goods, have boom and bust cycles. The ups and downs are part of being invested in anything, whether it's the stock market, real estate, antiques, Beanie Babies, whatever it is, anything that has a market will always have ups and downs. The key learning here is to understand where in the cycle you're at for whatever market you're looking at, and always having a strategy. I think that's the piece that I want to impart on our community, is that don't just buy something kind of emotionally or without having done your due diligence, right? You've got to have a strategy and try to take emotion out of it as much as possible. This is what makes great investors like Warren Buffett successful, is because they're able to consistently, objectively look at whatever asset they're purchasing and fundamentally understand the reasons to buy it, and not do so emotionally. And that's everything we're trying to do here at Crypto Sports Collector. And if you like this type of content, please follow and subscribe for my picks for my long-term investing strategy, and more content like this that helps educate you and keep you ahead of what's happening in the sports NFT and the crypto markets.
Crypto